Okay, let's talk about Pakistan's Operation Banyan Marsus. That was a befitting response to India's Operation Sindoor. Uh, India would have been living in a fool's paradise if it thought that Pakistan would not respond. Any sovereign nuclear weapon state would have responded in the same manner as Pakistan did. I don't know what Premier Modi have thought of when he said,
आतंक पर भारत की कार्रवाई का साथ देने के बजाय पाकिस्तान ने भारत पर ही हमला करना शुरू कर दिया।
On the 7th of May 2025, the aerial engagement between India and Pakistan marked an unprecedented moment in the entire history of the nuclear age. The first ever aerial dogfight between the two nuclear armed adversaries in a highly compressed battleship. More than 40 aircrafts of Pakistan, including JF-17 Thunder, J-10C, confronted more than 80 Indian aircrafts, including them Rafales, Su-30 MKIs, and MiG-29s. Both sides operated with real-time data from AWACS and employed long-range air-to-air missiles like the PL-15. The clash resulted into the downing of the 5 to 6 Indian aircrafts and targeting military installations mainly in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The assuming alleged crash sites of 5 Indian jets downed in the military retaliation are Akalia Khurd, that is in Bathinda, that is around 85 kilometers from the border. The second is Banyan, that is 65 kilometers from the line of control. Ramban, that is 70 kilometers from the border, and Akhnor, that is 10 kilometers from the border. So Pakistan shared irrefutable evidence of the downing of India's fighter jets in a comprehensive details that included Rafale 1 that was shot at around Bhalisa. The second Rafale shot down from Jammu. Rafale 3 was shot down from Srinagar. Another Russian Su-30 MKI was shot down in Srinagar. Russian fighter jet MiG-29 was also shot down from Srinagar as well. Again, some days after this particular incident, Pakistan also claimed that there was another fighter jet of India was also down, that is Mirage 2000. Along with that, Pakistan's Air Force also claimed that Pakistan had in a position to strike down more of the Indian aircrafts. For example, if Pakistan has shot down around 5 to 6 of the Indian aircrafts, it had the capacity to shoot down more aircrafts of India, around 15 to 18 aircrafts that Pakistan could shoot down, but Pakistan observed restraint to not escalate the crisis. The aerial dogfight between India and Pakistan was not like the traditional aerial dogfight, but it was a silent battlefield of the invisible forces, including the electromagnetic pulses, jamming beams, satellite interference, and beyond the visual range missiles slicing through the night. That night, Pakistan Air Force did not just win an air battle, it showcased the transformation that turned it from a reactive force into a multi-domain, technologically empowered war machine with two decisive assets: the cyber warfare and space-based capabilities. There are 42 aircrafts of Pakistan that confronted India's 72 aircrafts that were approaching in 4 coordinated waves, armed with standoff weapons to strike from across the border and the line of control. So Pakistan's 42 fighters launched in the rapid succession, directed not only by the human hands but by the artificial intelligence processing data from a newly built web of assets that included spy satellites, early warning radars, jamming systems and drones, all feeding into Pakistan's national intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance and integrated air operations center. So this was not the traditional aerial clash, but it was basically a digital ambush. And Pakistan was preparing for this kind of battle space for long, particularly in the aftermath of the 2019 Pulwama crisis. Once Indians they started to induct the S-400 and getting the Rafale jets from the France. So Pakistan also responded appropriately, and it basically purchased the J-10C from China and integrated it with the PL-15 missiles. So Pakistan, it launched a Space Force, operationalized a cyber command, integrated Chinese and Western hardware into a single coherent structure, and built its own R&D and training ecosystem, the National Aerospace Science and Technology Park, for innovating and adapting in real time. So by 2024, I am talking about the last year, that Pakistan was fully prepared to any kind of India's misadventure that happened like this in Operation Sindoor, to address this kind of eventuality. So Pakistan had not only fielded the stealthier, more agile aircrafts like the J-10C, equipped with the long-range PL-15 missiles capable of hitting targets beyond targets over 200 kilometers, developed its own passive radar systems, its own data links, and even signal demodulation tools that could ever stop on and jam Indian Rafale communications, but had also tested the new capabilities in exercise Indus Shield 2024. On the night of May 7, when India launched its Operation Sindoor, Pakistani fighter jets did not just scramble blindly, they hunted with surgical precision. Enemy aircraft were electronically lit up not by the radar alone, but by the very emissions from their own communication systems, despite Rafale's known spectral agility feature. In that combat operations, as earlier noted, 3 Rafales, 1 Su-30 MKI and 1 MiG-29 were downed within 40-minute span. In this particular combat operation, not one Pakistani jet crossed the border, not one engaged in the close combat operation. Later it was also revealed that Pakistan also shot down a Mirage 2000 as well. Pakistan's response was met by another India's counter response in the ensuing days of May 7. India sent huge number of Israeli-made Haroop drones reaching deep inside Pakistani territories. Pakistan claimed that it shot down around 77 Indian drones, including some falling in Rawalpindi, Lahore and other areas. After May 7, India's most intrusive and hard-hitting penetration occurred on the night of May 9, when it struck major air bases across Pakistan with BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles, and they struck Pakistani air bases including Noor Khan, Murid Air Base and Shorecoat Air Base. So Indians sending of the drone swarms into Pakistani territory was aimed to getting the as a probing tactic against Indian air defenses, which could then be eliminated through missiles and air strikes. So the Indian attacks on Pakistani air bases on the night of May 9 was a defining moment for Pakistan's counter retaliation of India, that was known as the Operation Banyan or Marsus, or Operation Iron Wall or Steel Wall, that is Unbreakable Wall. This Operation Banyan or Marsus was a operation under Pakistan's larger operation of Marka-e-Haq, and it consisted of the aerial and missile strikes, but not only the aerial missile and the aerial strikes, but also it consisted of the information operations. It also consisted of the cyber operations as well. It was a multi-domain warfare between the two nuclear-armed adversaries. It was aimed to reassure and re-establish deterrence while blunting the aims of the limited war and thwarting India's efforts to seek space for a conventional war under the nuclear overhang. Significantly, in 2020, General Khalid Kidwai, who is basically the former Director General of Pakistan Strategic Plans Division, he indicated in his speech in 2020 in London of Pakistan's response of a quid pro quo response, that if India would carry out any such strike that it had done in Operation Sindoor, so Pakistan will respond effectively. So Pakistan's multi-domain warfare consisted of the integration of the tri-services jointness, and also consisted of operations across the air, land and sea and cyber domains that allowed for the precision engagements, overwhelming lethality and lightning operational tempo. So the military installations that Pakistan hit in Operation Banyan Marsus and overall Operation Markai-Haq included Pakistan's striking at the Brahmo storage facility at Bias and Nagarota. Also, Pakistan's JF-17 destroyed India's S-400 missile defense systems, costing around $1.5 billion. These air defense systems were destroyed at Adampur and Bhuj. Also, India's Sirsa and Bathinda airfields in Punjab were also targeted and allegedly destroyed. Pakistan Army also destroyed the Halwara airfield, Ludhiana, Indian Punjab. It also destroyed air base at the Udhampur and an airfield at Pathankot, both in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and struck damages.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today on 10th May at the time of Fajr, we have given a strong punch to our coward enemy. Alhamdulillah. Nare Allahu Akbar.
05 AM F1 का फायर
उधमपुर में भी बम फटा। उधमपुर एयरफोर्स पे, एयरफोर्स के पास आप देख रहे हो, उधमपुर में एयरफोर्स के पास हवाई अड्डा थले है, इतने वो है, इतने रोड़ियां नहीं अड्डा थले है।
So, using precision-guided long-range Fatah missiles, Fatah 1 and Fatah 2, F1 and F2 of Pakistan Army, likewise precision munitions of Pakistan Air Force, highly capable long-range loitering killer munitions, and precision long-range artillery, Pakistan struck 26 military targets across India and Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Included Suratgarh, Sirsa, Bhuj, Nalia, Adampur, Bathinda, Barnala, Halwara, Avantipura, Srinagar, Jammu, Udhampur, Mamoon, Ambala and Pathankot, all of which sustained major damages. So it is not what Pakistan claimed that Pakistan hit these locations, but it is basically the Indian military spokespersons who basically admitted that Pakistan did strike on these particular locations.
पाकिस्तान ने उत्तरी और पश्चिमी भारत में स्थित कई सैन्य ठिकानों को, जैसे कि अवंतीपुरा, श्रीनगर, जम्मू, पठानकोट, अमृतसर, कपूरथला, जालंधर, लुधियाना, आदमपुर, भटिंडा, चंडीगढ़, नाल, फलौदी, उत्तरलाई और भुज पर ड्रोन और मिसाइलों से हमला करने का प्रयास किया।
Pakistan attempted to engage a number of military targets in northern and western India using drones and missiles. These places included Avantipura, Srinagar, Jammu, Pathankot, Amritsar, Kapurthala, Nal, Jalandhar, Ludhiana, Adampur, Bhatinda, Chandigarh, Falodi, Uttarlai and Bhuj. These were neutralized by the integrated counter unmanned aerial system and other air defense systems. The debris of these attacks is now being recovered from a number of locations that prove the Pakistani attacks.
Allegedly, Pakistan also destroyed India's Dharamsal 1, Dana 1 and tabletop posts across the Nizapur sector in Kashmir. India's Akhnor aviation base near Jammu and Barnala airfield, both in Indian illegally Jammu and Kashmir, were targeted and allegedly destroyed. Likewise, the Indian Army's brigade headquarters in Bhimber Gully, IIOJK, was also allegedly destroyed. The Pakistan Army also allegedly destroyed Indian posts directly opposite in the Phulkian sector as well. On the line of control, Pakistan Army also allegedly destroyed Ratanwali Post, Jazeera Post Complex, Kafir Meri, Shahpur 3 and Ghadar Top as well. Likewise, Pakistan also claimed that it has hit military's logistics and support sites, that is included field supply depot at Uri and radar station at Punch as well. Likewise, Pakistan also hit 10 BDE and 8 BDE at KG Top and Nowshera that were destroyed. Likewise, Pakistan also claimed that it has also hit certain intelligence-based places that were involved in carrying out terrorist activities in Pakistan, including some posts at Rajouri and Nowshera in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. So as part of this particular operation, not only these aerial strikes, missiles and drones were basically used to target the military installations deep inside India, but also Pakistani drones flew over New Delhi, deep on the capital city of India as well. Likewise, as noted, that Pakistan's operation was consisted of the multi-domain warfare and including the cyber operations as well, and Pakistan claimed that it has through a cyber attack 70% of the electricity grid of India was made dysfunctional. Pakistan's response was precise, proportionate but restrained. So Pakistan's preparation for this multi-domain warfare started somewhat in 1990s, that included the net centricity or net centric warfare, that is include the fusion of various domains of capabilities including cyber, electronic warfare, drones, missiles, aerial, land and naval capabilities. Pakistan defended its sovereignty and territorial integrity against the naked use of force by India, and it was responded accordingly. The Indian myth of the conventional superiority and primacy in South Asia was severely challenged through Pakistan's Operation Banyan Marsus and larger operation of the Marka-e-Haq. Significantly, Pakistan also got support from its long-standing strategic friends including China, Turkey, Azerbaijan and the Middle East. Importantly, the hostilities continued until May 10, when the US President Trump intervened and called for both states to cool down their relationship and observe restraint. His two tweets indicate the US role to defuse the crisis situation, and ultimately on the afternoon of May 10 at around 5 o'clock, the crisis was diffused when both these states they claimed for a ceasefire on the televisions. Now coming to the third part of this video, that is basically the cost of hostilities. Both India and Pakistan they incurred damage in this 4-day military hostility between each other, but India was initially reluctant to admit damages and losses, but into a question Indian spokesperson they basically admitted that losses are part of the combat. So in terms of the Indian losses, it is very important to understand that in terms of the human casualties, since May 7 and May 8, a total of 16 civilians have been killed and 59 others have been injured in the attacks by Pakistan, Colonel Sophia Qureshi admitted that the Indian Army lost 5 soldiers in Operation Sindoor. India lost 6 fighter jets, including 3 Rafales, 1 Su-30 MKI, and 1 MiG-29, and 1 Mirage 2000, costing around $1 billion. Its destruction of S-400 battery systems also costed around $1.5 billion. Other damages and destruction of airfields and military checkposts need to be evaluated. With regard to Pakistan's losses, it is important to understand Pakistan's losses in 2 different aerial strikes. First, on the night of May 6 and 7, when India struck missiles at 6 locations in Pakistan and damaging mosques. In those strikes, around 31 civilians, including women and children, were killed. On the other hand, once India carried out its retaliatory strikes in between May 7 and May 10, Pakistan also incurred many losses. For example, the total number of the martyred personnel of Pakistan Armed Forces included 13, while 78 have sustained injuries in the line of duty, as was claimed by Pakistan's ISPR Director General Lieutenant General Ahmad Sharif Chaudhry. In terms of the material loss, there is no independent publicly data that is available to suggest that how much India and Pakistan they incurred their losses. A New York Times piece suggests that both India and Pakistan post of damaging each other, but satellite data show limited damage. Even this piece show 4 Pakistani pictures of the damaged sites, but there is only one picture of that is taken 2 days after the attack, and India had repaired those sites. Therefore, the report seems to be controversial and partial. While both states inflicted damages to each other, both claim victory over the other. Pakistan celebrated the Victory Day on the May 17, 2025, and its Premier and Cabinet approved the decision to elevate the Chief of Army Staff, General Asim Munir, as the Field Marshal in the wake of successful Operation Marsus and Operation Banyan Marsus, and also extended the tenure of Air Marshal Zahir Ahmed Babar Sidhu. This is basically the whole picture that how India has carried out its Operation Sindoor in the event of the Pahalgam attack. Instead of investigating into that particular incident and capturing those involved into those particular incident of Pahalgam, India blamed Pakistan's involvement, and it struck through aerial incursions inside Pakistan. But Pakistan appropriately and in a befitting manner responded to India's Operation Sindoor through Banyan Marsus and Marsus. There is the nuclear dimension of this particular issue of Pahalgam crisis, and then there are the third party role. The United States of America played an important role. What lessons we can draw from this particular conflict, and what is the way forward, and how India and Pakistan they can move forward after the Pahalgam. These are basically the key questions that I will try to address in my next video. Thank you very much.